everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be talking about embarrassing and awkward moments during my lifetime so far. So these long 21 years. So let's get straight on to it. Okay, so the first one I'm going to be talking about is, like, at the time I didn't think it was embarrassing because I was only young, but it, like, looking back on it, it's like, if I was an adult it would be so embarrassing, and I get embarrassed talking about it, to be honest. Basically, when I can't remember exactly how old I was, so if mum, if you're watching, then please, like, let me know how old I actually was, or if any of my family know how old I was. We were on a holiday with my family and a couple of family friends and things like that. Us sisters, so me and my sisters, we went and played on the park. So I decided, me being me, bit of a tomboy, bit of a badass, I would try and fit in a baby swing. So yeah, basically I got stuck and I couldn't get out. There was some family sat on the bench next to me, and they were all sort of like, oh my god, we can't get you out, blah. And I was like literally trying for ages, like trying to get out. And like my sisters were like running over back to the tent, because I think we were camping, and my sisters were running back to the tent. I think it was Lucy. She was running back to the tent going to my mum, Eliza's stuck in the baby swing, we can't get her out, blah blah blah. I just remember being there like, what am I gonna do? I actually can't get out. So this man, like, from another family was like he was sort of like, oh, you know, I'll help you get out. Like, looking back on it, it was a bit like, oh, I'm thinking, oh, okay. But he was lovely, bless him, wanted to help. So basically the only solution we could think of, and this is the most embarrassing thing, and it's just so funny, like, I'll talk about it to my kids and they can talk about it to their kids, like, oh, but the funny thing is, we had to use butter, so like margarine, lard, however you want to say it, we had to use butter to, like, spread on my legs, and then, like, I would, like, slide out of the baby swing, and it was just like it's like literally butter saved the day. And when I was in primary school, we had to write this, like, autobiography thing, and I actually won an award because of my autobiography, and they thought it was really good, and I called it Butter Saved the Day. So I just thought that was, like, yeah, one embarrassing moment for you. So the next embarrassing moment of my life so far was again when I was quite small, quite young, and I was basically playing around at school in the playground, as you do when you're kids, and I bashed into this little boy, and coincidentally I think his name was Oliver. And it's not my Oliver because we didn't go to the same primary school or anything, but yeah, his name was Oliver anyway. That's all I sort of remember about him. And we bashed, like, each other's heads, I think it was, because we were, like, running about and stuff. But, like, we didn't think anything of it. We were just sort of like, obviously I got checked over by the school nurse and things like that. The bad thing is that it was actually my older sister's wedding, like, coming up, like, maybe that weekend or like the week after or something like that. But what happened at the wedding, well, not happened at the wedding, but, like, gradually built up, is I started to get a black eye. So I mean, this one isn't as embarrassing, but looking back on it and, like, looking at the photos and things of my sister's wedding, I'm just there with, like, a big black eye. I don't know how old I was. I must have only been like 7, 8, 9 even. I don't really know. No, maybe a bit younger actually. I don't know. So Mum, if you're watching again, then yeah, let me know how old I actually was, if you can remember. I know it was a lot of years ago. Another one of my embarrassing moments is when I was on the year 6 school trip holiday thing. Mostly every school, well, back then, I don't know if they still do, But in year 6 you go on like a school trip for like a week or 5 days or whatever it was. And our school trip was actually in Devon, and we like stayed on this farm. And yeah, I mean, it was really good all in all. However, one of the days we went on a day out and we went to Plymouth Aquarium, and we was really looking forward to it, and me being me, like thinking I was cool and all this. I was only in primary school, and yeah, me thinking I was cool and things like that. You always want to like sit at the back of the coach and think you're all cool and like sit with your friends, and like it was quite a long journey on the coach to Plymouth Aquarium from where we were staying, and I started to feel a bit travel sick. So like, I mean, I started to feel a little bit better when we got off the coach, so I sort of carried on, went into the gift shop first for some reason. Normally you go at the end, I don't know why we went in there first. Basically, long story short, I threw up all over the gift shop floor. So yeah, I hope they had a fun job cleaning that up. Once again, I was quite young, so at the time I might have felt a little bit embarrassed, but you know, who doesn't when they're sick, to be honest, in like a public place. Here's another embarrassing moment for you. I had started year 7, and I wasn't able, like sort of going back to the last embarrassing moment that I said, we went on a year 6 trip and all that. Like I said, my year 7 introduction day thing was actually while I was away in year 6 on that trip. So I wasn't able to go to my year 7 induction day and like meet all like the people that was going to be my tutor and things like that, because I went to a different school, secondary school, to most people that were in my primary school. So I wasn't really going to know anyone like that was going to be in my classes and things. So I was a bit like, okay, but I sort of just cracked on with it. I didn't have the induction day, so I didn't really know anyone there, I didn't know anyone's names and all that, and this is where it gets funny. So I was sat there on the first day of year 7, and my tutor was like calling the register, and she said, Eliza. So I looked up and went, yep, or like, hey miss, or whatever you want to say. And exactly the same time as I said that, another girl crossed the classroom, said, hey miss. And like, just when you're in that situation, it's just so awkward, like when like you think your name's being called but it's not, it's someone else's. Like, I don't know if any of you can relate to that. And it was just so embarrassing because obviously Eliza, as it is quite an unusual name, like quite rare, like not many people have it. So I was just like, oh, okay, there's someone else called Eliza, okay. And I was like gobsmacked with that fact, to be honest. But yeah, I just remember feeling like really awkward and being like, oh, okay, not me, okay. Okay, so here's where I'm starting to get to sort of teenage age, I suppose. And every year we used to go out and like look around the shops with my sisters and my mum, and like look around the shops near Christmas. So we were on the bus on the way to, I can't remember where we were on the way to actually, but we were on the bus, and it was quite a long journey from where we live. We were sort of nearly there, and we were about to sort of get off, I think, and I said to my mum, I looked across and said, oh, I feel sick. Here's where the travel sickness comes in again. I said, oh mum, I feel sick. So it's okay, we'll be there soon, like another 2 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. And I said, oh, okay. So like, as you do, I was trying to like sort of hold it in and all that, because it's just so embarrassing. I don't know if anyone else like can relate to this, but when you're in a public place and like you're sick and things like that, you just get so like embarrassed and you just want to curl up into a ball and you're like, oh. But basically I threw up all sort of like, I don't know, maybe some got down me, but mainly onto the floor of the bus. And I remember we were like coming to a stop, a sudden halt, because there was traffic lights. We were sat quite near the back-ish of the bus, and it all decided to run down the bus. And what made me even feel more embarrassed was that there was these young girls, maybe a bit older than me at the time, was sat there giggling at the back, being like, look at her. Like, and that didn't help. Like, so if you're one of them girls, thanks. Now, this is a funny and embarrassing / a little bit awkward moment for me. Still in the teenager age. My sister Lucy, so if you're watching this, Lucy, you might remember this because I think you were there at the time. We used to go to church, and they were doing like this fashion show type catwalk thing in the church at one point. It might have been like a fundraiser or just like some sort of event or something, because it was quite a fun sort of church. So like the catwalk, we were like there early because I think us sisters were like in it, or we would like help, or we were like helping set up and things like that with my mum. And so me trying to be cool again, like me being me. I wish I'd stop trying to be cool, to be honest. I decided to try and be cool and run up to the catwalk and be like, I decided to run up to the catwalk, sort of like spring onto it, if you know what I mean, because it was a bit of a high level. It was probably like that much off the ground. I sort of like ran up to it and was like, yeah, and then like literally went straight on the catwalk. That was embarrassing, funny and awkward. I mean, luckily there wasn't many people watching, but yeah, that's one of them. So unfortunately we have come to the end of the video, but before I go, I've got one last embarrassing / awkward moment. And I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but for what it is, like, I felt embarrassed about it. So basically, I was in town not too long ago, to be honest, maybe half a year ago, and we went into this cafe, me and Ollie, and we were with my mum and my little sister, I think. And we went to the table, put our stuff down and all that, and then I went with my sister to the toilet. And then me and my sister came back, and obviously I need guidance, like with linking someone's arm and stuff. So she was sort of linking my arm, and then as we got closer to the table, she sort of let go and sort of carried on walking a bit, because we were sort of there, and she thought I'll be okay and things like that. So basically, I started to walk up to what I thought was our table, and I was stood at the end of someone else's table with two old women sat opposite each other on this table that my family weren't even sat at. I was standing there for literally probably about a good minute, and that feels like a long time. And I was stood there, and I was literally about to shout, "Well, move up then!" I kid you not, I was literally split second before I said that, before I sort of brain told my mouth to say that, my little sister or Ollie or someone said, "Eliza, what are you doing over there? Come over here." And I sort of realised, I was like, I was like, I know I didn't shout, and if I did shout, that would have definitely been the top embarrassing moment. So there we have it. That is a few of my embarrassing moments throughout my life so far. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, because I really appreciate it and it helps me out a lot. If you haven't already, then please subscribe. And remember, next to the subscribe button there should be a little symbol of a bell. So click that to make sure that you get the notifications of when my videos are uploaded. If you can relate to any of the embarrassing moments that I've given you, then feel free to tell me in the comments. We can have a little chat about it and share our embarrassing moments together, I'm sure. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it. I thought I'll bring something a bit different, and hopefully you've had a little bit of a giggle with me. I shall see you in my next video.